Cool Blonde. Whatever you say about the Juggalos, they know how to keep shit running smoothly. See, I was watching because the 18th annual gathering like just happened.
It ended on the 29th.
A couple weeks ago. I think we're good.
Like a day ago. It ended on the 29th of July.
Are we redoing anything?
I think anything so we redid, we just did immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good. I had like a small stumble in the outro, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're generous tippers. Hosk delivered pizza to them once.
Really?
To the gathering of the Juggalos. Got a good tip.
But I was watching the video of
Delivered pizza to the entire gathering.
Well, I think so.
It's a lot of pizzas.
them spraying Faygo all over the crowd, and I'm just like, oh, you'd be so sticky and because it's like a festival, right? So it's like you'd be so awful and like the performers have showers, but no, apparently everyone has air-conditioned showers. It's like, oh, shit,
Hosk
all right.
says, I delivered $4,000 worth of pizza over 2 days. That scans. They paid me $4,500. Nice.
Not bad. Damn. All right.
Apparently, the plural of amiibo is amiibo, not amiibos.
A beam of babos.
I mean, like, I believe that you're correct. I still believe I don't want to redo that story. I think he did it in multiple trips, guys. He didn't, like, drive a Hummer filled with pizza.
Yeah.
Or, like, a big rig.
What I like about the Red Bull section of that thing is that the guy from Money Matches was like, Red Bull's doesn't even know about this. And because Red Bull Esports didn't know about that. And Gamertech Events was like, no, look at this email. And it's like, oh, that's a real email from completely the wrong department at Red Bull. So like, you are technically in contact with someone from Red Bull, but not like you've made it worse. I was like, Holli. That's an unusual first name. So I just Googled Red Bull Holly. And there was a LinkedIn for Holly Coleman, who works at Red Bull, who is currently works not only for Red Bull in like their cruise ship department, but also as like the head of like Global Cruise Marketing Inc. or something, right? And it's like, oh, that's literally what she does. But it's this stuff where it's like, tonight on B deck. And then you'll have like Red Bulls and Coronas on the poster,
Yeah.
And it's
I like that Red Bull has a cruise ship marketing department.
Red Bull's a surprisingly big, diverse company.
Here, let me just...
I mean, they get a lot done with drinking all the Red Bull.
Yeah.
And not
Do you think
sleeping ever.
they're not even allowed to have coffee machines at the corporate office?
I don't know. I do love the story about...
I think people smuggle in coffee in Red Bull cans.
I love the story about Starbucks corporate in Seattle. Because they have the whole office building where all the admin works, and the center of each floor, like near
Is like a
where the
Starbucks?
elevators are, is basically like a stocked Starbucks because Starbucks hires from within. So basically, everyone who's an executive at one point slung
Well,
coffee.
maybe not everybody, but most of them.
Nearly, yeah. And so whenever they want, they can just wander over to an unstaffed Starbucks and just make their own whatever. I
I
just
bet
kinda
people
like
come
that.
through and clean up after them.
Well, presumably, yeah.
I will
Yeah, Red
have
Bull
a-
Media. There was that series that they did that we were in.
I will have a all syrup venti.
You
It's
can
like-
do that.
Just have a cup of steamed syrup.
How's
So-
it going, everybody?
My mom
I
works with
hope
Red
it's
Bull's
good.
marketing department. They have one for literally everything, like plane adverts and hiking. Yeah, I believe it. Oh, thank you. That's so much better. You guys at a Red Bull thing? Yeah, you can look it up. It's called Screenland. They did half of an episode about Russ making the Desert Bus documentary.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
never actually saw how that turned out.
It's
very...
It's aggressively edited.
Yeah, that's a great... I was going to say colorful,
And then
exuberantly...
there's like a minute-long web-only extra about Checkpoint.
Well, I know, like, because I remember they were here and they like got us like doing all sorts. They got us doing like all sorts of like day in the life type stuff.
Yeah.
like here's us brainstorming a crap shot.
Phoenix
During which we
Melior.
actually came up with the crap shot.
Yeah. Phoenix Melior, yes. That is the doc from that one, like the earliest G vlog, I think. That's the doc.
Yeah, for a
that
while
they
we
were
had
filming.
recursive documentary crews around the office, and it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Desert Bus meeting, there were more people filming us than there were actually at the meeting, I think. It was a little
Yeah.
awkward.
OKB1, the update has gone out to the Kickstarter backers, but for anyone who's not, the Desert Bus documentary is looking really good. It's in picture lock, which means that Russ, as the senior editor and director, has like basically like locked in.
It's as long and short. It's as long as it's going to be. It's as short as it's going to be. The actual film part is finished, but now he has to like make sure it sounds really good. And
Well,
add,
now
like,
it's the other people at Flying Saucer, so they're gonna do the sound and the color and the music and all that. But basically the content, the flow, the narrative of it and everything, and where the edits are, that's all locked
I mean, it's
in.
kind of like if you've watched the crap shoot, the way like Graham will like put it all in and get it the way he would like it.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay, this is good. Now let's go through and do the stuff.
Exactly.
It's like that, except more than 45 seconds.
the thing with that,
Probably.
the thing with that is getting something to picture lock is definitely that's the most time consuming part.
Well, especially when you've got as much footage as he had to deal with.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Which was thousands and thousands of hours of footage.
So yeah.
Yeah, like they had the full recording of Desert Bus 10 plus previous Desert Bus plus all the other stuff.
Yeah, gap filler not necessarily. It depends on the Moonbase move. There's anyone who backed the Kickstarter at the second tier or higher gets to watch the exclusive online premiere, which we'll be hosting, and we'll do a thing, and then we'll play it, and then we'll chat with you afterwards. And I would love to do that
Yeah.
before PAX.
And the plan was to do that.
Yeah.
But of course,
So
things have happened.
with the Moonbase in flux, we're not sure. At minimum, we could probably just broadcast just the documentary and not do like a whole hosted thing. So we'll see. But then at PAX is going to be the IRL premiere on the Friday night at 8 p.m. in the Werecat Theater. And it'll be followed with a Q&A panel with Russ and any of us who are there.
Yeah, unfortunately, being kicked out of the Moonbase has really sort of goozled these plans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, and also, of course, when we originally did the Kickstarter, we didn't really think about the idea that we could premiere it at PAX either.
No.
That was sort of something that came up when we realized that it would be finished around the right time.
Yeah, and it just made sense. So
And then we talked to the PAX.
the Moonbase hunt goes well. Hopefully we'll have some updates for you on that soon.
The PAX Q&A will certainly be recorded.
Yeah.
The streaming is up to PAX. It depends. I don't know.
I don't think it's in the streaming theater.
Yeah, they don't stream all the theaters, but it will certainly be recorded, and we will put it up somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, Erica, yeah, that makes sense. Send a message to the campaign, like where you like message the Desert Bus documentary campaign. So it's in the Kickstarter backend. We'll probably do we'll probably send out another survey for that, though.
Just to make sure.
Yeah. But good point. So, anyway, let's talk about the news, and then we can shoot the shit about other stuff later. So, stories in the actual episode. Yeah, the SNES classic.
Like that, when I say
Awkward.
people were like, that was open for half an hour and like somehow 15,000 of these, like obviously I'm making up the number 15,000, but for that half an hour is open, like I'm on a couple of Slacks, and one of my Slacks was just like, everybody you can order a SNES Classic, go now, go, like alert at channel, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's mostly just Dash Dreams. Everyone was like, "Yay! Maybe,
I got one." Oh.
Maybe it won't be as terrible as the NES in terms of availability." But we don't know.
In a perfect world, Walmart can give that data to Nintendo, and Nintendo can go, "Oh, we should make more of these." But they probably won't.
No.
There's reasonable arguments that in a perfect world, Walmart wouldn't have
Taken
the
the
kind of influence that they have. But
It's not even influence. It just means data, right? Just like so that Nintendo can go, "Oh, a lot of people ordered that, huh?" You know.
Yes. And Nintendo's like, oh, turns out this will be kind of popular.
Yeah.
For some reason, it never occurred to us.
So the Pokemon Go Fest, Kathleen and Beach talked about it a bit last week, but we didn't do like a full.
Well, because the
story.
class action lawsuit hadn't come out yet.
Yeah. So the
It had just actually finished at that point, right?
the Go Fest. Yeah. So it's
Go
as they said, the event itself was like plagued with massive lines and internet problems, and Niantic was like, "We're talking to the service providers. We're sorry." And it's like, you know what happens when you get like literally tens of thousands of people trying to log on.
Well, apparently, like they did ask for some extra, the cellulars on wheels, like the portable cell towers. They're called cows, and Sprint provided them. So people, apparently people who were on Sprint at GoFest had a good time. But now there's a little bit of finger pointing going on between Verizon and Niantic, because Verizon was like, nah, and then Verizon's like, not our fault, and Niantic's like, but you said no. So this is all on like the Pokemon Go Reddit.
I would pretty happily blame Verizon for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, they asked for portable cell towers halfway through the event, says
Yeah.
Anarin, which I
yeah, that's it.
surprised.
Yeah,
Oh.
so they asked for.
Well, then okay.
They were so it's like two. One, they asked for portable cell towers partway through the event, and two, like, it's not Verizon's fault that they either didn't or couldn't or whatever supply the portable cell towers
Yeah.
at a moment. It's just like if they said they would supply cell towers and then didn't,
Yeah.
that would be their fault. If it was just like, hey guys, can you supply portable cell towers? No. Well, then that's the reason why this whole event isn't going to work.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
There's a lot of back and forth going on about what actually happened and why this is such a clusterfuck, but what Graham didn't touch on in that story is that Pokemon Go is supposed to have safari zones in Europe. There's going to be a couple in August and some in September. And my friend Adam, who plays Pokemon Go a lot, was like, Kathleen, we should go to a safari zone. I'm like, well, one, in no universe can I afford to go to Paris for a weekend to catch Pokemon. And two, like, I don't think I would if I was in Paris for the weekend. And two, no, because the first event was a clusterfuck. But turns out they have pushed back all of the August events as well. Probably because they're like, oh, let's not make this real bad.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like mobile and cell service is a little different in Europe, so it might work better or possibly worse.
Who knows?
Okay, apparently John Dara says no. Prior to the event, they asked the providers if they could handle it, to which they said they could. Then, halfway through the event, when it was clear that the normal network obviously couldn't handle it, specifically asked providers for cows. I mean, I just feel like you just got to go for like, okay, you say you can handle this event, but can you handle 1.5 times this event? Right? Like, it's for an event like this where your game literally needs cellular internet to run, I feel like more is better than less.
Well, and it's also like, it's not like this event, this event needs cell. It's like this event needs cell power to do their thing. Like, literally accessing the thing on your phone is the event. Like,
Yeah.
there's no event otherwise.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh no, nobody can do stuff on their phone while they're at the thing. Like at whatever. If like the Wi-Fi is shitty at PAX or something.
Yeah. You want overkill.
It's that they're literally, that's the event is accessing a thing in the internet. If you can't do that, then there is no event. It's just a bunch of people hanging out in a spot frustrated on their phones.
Soprano Cat says, if I go to Paris for a weekend, I have much better things to do than catch Pokemon, like go to Disneyland Paris. Not to belittle your choices. For me, I've never understood, like, there's Disneyland Paris and Tokyo Disney, and when we were in Osaka, we were considering going to Universal Studios.
Because they have Harry Potter fucking land there.
Yeah, but it's like, if I'm in Paris or Tokyo or Osaka, I would rather see Paris, Tokyo, and Osaka.
Yes.
If I want to see Disneyland, I'll go to Anaheim, which has absolutely fuck all else going on for it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I'll go to Disneyland.
Also,
Right.
Disneyland doesn't even like you. It doesn't even like you trying to catch Pokemon. So.
No.
Do they not?
Well, I mean, I don't
'Cause
know.
it's-
There was that thing with like that they had to put up signs for all the people in the character costumes to stop fucking around with their phones trying to catch Pokemon.
It's okay, Soprano Cat.
Like I remember I think we did a story about it, or maybe we just talked about it. But there's like signs up backstage that like, please don't use
Yeah.
your phone while you're dressed up as Mickey.
Right.
Thanks, Hosk.
It's the only Disneyland in Europe. I guess that's fair.
But yeah, like little like the idea, like the safaris seem like it sounds like the idea is sort of doing more.
Actually, as an
small
aside,
things.
I actually would kind of super dig. Now that I've been to Japan twice, I would actually kind of really dig going to Tokyo Disney just to see the differences.
Well, guess what? When we take
What?
Penelope to Japan, she's probably going to be like, I want to go to Disneyland. And we're probably going to be like, well,
Well, we're here.
yeah, we're fine.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Safari zones, you were saying.
Yeah,
Well, I just
Safari
think
Zones are going
it,
to have
like-
like rare Pokemon, though, apparently.
But it seems like that might be the way to go. Like the idea of having more smaller things
Yeah.
rather than everybody come to this one spot.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. Safari zones are probably fine since they're not the same thing as big meetups. The infrastructure can probably handle it. That's probably fair, G-Dwarf.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe though, like, I would assume that they're just trying to be cautious. Because like,
Yeah, I mean, and people are talking about like tech support or support for cell phone providers and stuff is often they're not totally. They don't really. They're like, oh yeah, that's fine. It'll be fine. Whatever. But that's the thing. It's like I would think that a multi-million-dollar corporation, like $100 million corporation like Niantic,
Yeah.
when setting up this, like they're not going to be just like phoning the local Verizon tech support and be like, hey, we're doing this. Is this okay? Like, I don't know. I would hope that it would be like a thing
Yeah.
that you would talk, like that they would put more effort into guaranteeing their bandwidth than say we do for Desert Bus. Which we put a fair amount of effort in, but it like we phone them and get a special thing for it to make sure we'll have the bandwidth.
Yeah.
I would hope that they would do at least that.
So the hey Pikmin use of amiibos is just really funny. It's just what Captain Olimar thinks of all these characters.
Yeah.
he called Rosalina fashion mystery.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
one's good because her dress is like appears to be too big for her.
I like that. Well, I like that he says that it looks too bad, like it looks too long, and the things are too baggy, but she looks great in it. So presumably she's doing this intentionally.
Yeah. She's got a confident face. That's what
That's
I
what
go
it was.
for.
Yeah, because she looks so confident, she must be wearing this ill-fitting dress on purpose.
Yes, that's what I go for. Yeah, I look weird, but I'm confident while doing it.
Yeah.
I do like the idea that, that it's just like Olimar. Is it that the article I was reading didn't actually say anything about like whether the amiibos get you any actually
Yes,
thing
they
in
do.
the
They
game.
unlock little secret areas. They're like little extra puzzles where you can get a little bit of extra, like whatever you need to get your starship to fly again.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
It's not like you can break the game or anything with it. It's not that much, but it's just for like little fun extra bonus areas.
I apologize if my mic is. Sorry.
And then Gamer Gauntlet.
What?
CruiseCon.
Yeah.
You know, don't go to anything where it's like hashtag blah. Like if that's their advertising, don't go to it.
That's
Well-
probably not like everything is hashtag something these days.
Yeah.
But if like their marketing is
Hashtag
like come to
PPR.
hashtag thing.
But the Gathering of the
gonna be so-
Juggalos.
but-
We literally just talked about
But
that.
they don't. They're not. They don't say
It's-
hashtag
It's-
juggalos.
It's the. I think if their marketing is rah 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 rah, don't go. It's not what they say.
Unless it's organized by juggalos,
I'm just
because
saying.
juggalos got their shit together. Fuck.
The idea of having a hashtag associated with a brand is a pretty common thing. Hashtag PPR.
Juggalos are more organized than some governments right now. What timeline are we in?
I don't know.
I wonder like how much of the Gathering of the Juggalos is organized by actual juggalos, or whether they just have like an organized just a
I mean, it
a
doesn't.
company that does all the stuff.
I mean, probably they have a company they work with, but they're smart enough to know that they need a company and bring in
Yeah,
like amenities
exactly.
and take care of the people who are going there. It's a very well organized, smoothly running event.
just imagining like the like festival management company is like they're talking about all the things with whatever Violent J and
Shaggy Too Dope.
Shaggy Too Dope wearing all their and all the Juggalo people wearing their makeup, and there's all
Violent
these sort
J's
of
lost a lot of weight. by the way.
executives all sitting on the other side, like, okay, yep, doing all the thing. We're gonna have, the make sure we get however many pallets full of Faygo we need for the thing, and doing all this stuff, and this will be good. All right. Oh, I think we can all agree, whoop whoop. All right.
Yeah, whoop whoop indeed.
It's just,
So say we all.
Yeah. So if you don't know what like juggalos are, they're supposed to be evil clowns.
well, fun clowns.
Well, but like evil demonic clowns essentially, like because it's like the dark carnival.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ICP lore if you're
A
interested.
lot of
in it.
iconography going on.
And
here.
it's a very like from what I know,
Deep narrative.
It's like kind of like they have a very different idea of fun than I do, but overall they're a welcoming and positive community.
It's true.
I think
It's
so.
about family.
Yeah, apparently.
They're basically Vin Diesel.
If you if you have if you're interested in going real deep on this Gamer Gauntlet drama and you have literally an hour to kill, both Smiths, which is to say Curtis Smith of Gamertech Events, the people organizing Gamer Gauntlet, and Zach Smith from Money Matches, who blew the lid off the thing, they have both separately done audio interviews with a website called Coalition, spelled with a K. I say an hour because Zach Smith's interview was like basically 15 minutes refuting all the bullshit that Curtis Smith said, and Curtis Smith was 45 minutes of desperately trying to tread water. So, you can...
Like you would do if you didn't have a boat.
Yeah. So I just wanted to shout out to the people at Coalition for those audio interviews. I don't know anything else about the people or that website, but those interviews were handy.
And I mean, the good part about it is that it's in like October, so it's not like you can imagine something like this where people like are standing on the docks, like, so where's the boat?
Yeah.
Like,
It's not people.
Enough- like,
People calling it a fire festival is not the case because it didn't get that people showed up to Florida and there was no boat.
yeah, this is like and to be fair, I'm sure there are lots of conventions or festivals or whatever that get canceled before they ever get off the ground that we don't hear about, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just this particular one already had some sponsor stuff, so it kind of blew up.
Sorry, someone's like, "Hi, Molly," and Molly says, "Kathleen broke for a sec, so the asymmetrical haircut signal went up in my house. My people need me."
Aw.
And
At least Fire Festival had a fire, says TXC2. That's true. All the fires at the Gathering of the Juggalos, I believe, were intentionally set.
they probably had an Inferno match. I don't know.
Yep.
All right. Other stories. Player Unknown Battlegrounds. Boy, is there a lot of stuff that we could talk about since we had the last episode. But what we're going to talk about instead is first-person grunting.
Yeah.
According to Brendan, Player Unknown Green, thank you.
Greenie.
The reason that Player Unknown defaults to the third person is because back when he was making Battle Royale mods for Arma 2 and Arma 3, when you were in first person, the characters made this really irritating grunt noise that he didn't like and never wanted to subject anybody to, so he locked everything to third person.
I like that.
That's it. That's why it's third person. And they're adding first person servers now because he actually believes that first person is the vastly superior view perspective for a battle royale thing because you have less, you're much more tunnel vision, you have less sort of map awareness. He thinks it's way better. But the reason it started with third person is because he thought the grunt was unpleasant.
I like I'm imagining like the devs at whatever the company that actually makes PUBG is.
His company, I guess.
Just they're like,
No, it's not his company. They hired him on.
Oh.
but it's like
Blue Hole. They're Korean.
I can imagine the devs are like, so why do we have it first person? And he explains it, and they're like, we could
Just take out the grunt.
we could not put that noise in. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, well let's do it then.
Let's do that.
And now all first-person
But-
servers coming soon.
He was talking about actually, when he was talking about the first person thing, and because in the original mods there were first person stuff, and he's saying like you get these really interesting situations like two people hiding in bushes
In the same bush.
in the same bush and not seeing each other, like just like going past each other
Yeah.
without noticing the other person. Because I guess, as you're moving through the bush, there's the sounds of the bush, so you wouldn't notice that the other person was also making noises. Which, of course, in third-person mode, you would immediately see the other person.
Yeah. Can we get a PUBG mod that replaces grunting with Macho Man Randy Savage?
Oh no!
Again, this is, just to be clear, this is the first-person grunt noise was in Arma 2 and Arma 3, and that's why when he made his Battle Royale mod for Arma,
Which is like the sort of...
The predecessor to
the
this.
predecessor.
that's
To
why
PUBG.
he locked that to third person because he couldn't remove the grunt from first person. When starting Player Unknown Battlegrounds, which is not based on the Arma engine, yes, they could have that noise doesn't exist because it's a new engine, but they started with it in third person because it looked the most like his previous stuff. So to be clear, it's not like this game that he's in charge of developing at a company that is making this game from scratch somehow can't remove this noise.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify that point.
The fact that there are... that you can have mods in PUBG means that I do hope that somebody makes a grunt mod.
I feel like I want like PUBG to succeed because people really like it, but I feel like a lot of people are going to go over to first-person mode because that's apparently what the creator prefers. But I think for streaming, third-person mode is way better.
I love it.
To see,
We'll see.
the third-person mode,
Yeah, but we'll
because
see.
first-person mode, you're not going to see any of like the wacky stuff that happens.
It's gonna be a lot more difficult. Yeah, it'll be when your car does a crazy thing, you'll just sort of be like,
Ah.
but like your view mode will just like freak out. You won't get to see the car you're in go. Whoop.
Although, I mean, there is a well-established thing in first persons to switch to third person, like when you're in a vehicle or something.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah, but there's lots of other fun stuff.
Yeah, you won't be able to know whether you're wearing no pants.
Yeah.
That's the best part of the game.
Final Fantasy 15 news.
They made some still suits.
Yeah, so they were going to add a free download for what they were calling the Muteki suits or the Invincible suits, and they were like, "This is what they look like," and a bunch of people went, "Those look really a lot like the suits from the new North American Power Rangers movie."
And I think
And
Saban did
among those
what-
people was the people
I
who made the
put-
Power Rangers
I think
movie.
what they, in legal parlance, gave him a one of those.
Yeah, according to Square Enix, they were contacted by the Power Rangers people who were like,
No.
those look the same. And so Square went, okay, fine. And so they went away and came back, and now they look like putties. Like they look, you said like the Dune still suits?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all four of them are the same. They're just like black and gray and sort of like,
It's got weird, like, shoulder things.
yeah, like look like quasi-organic a little bit, but like the Sentai stuff looked sweet because they were clearly like Sentai inspired, but they were a little too inspired. So now they just took a hard left turn into everything the same and gray. So
Well, probably because they're like, well, we said we'd have it out by this time, and we don't have time to design like 4 new outfits.
Yeah.
So design one, and then everybody gets the same one.
yeah. Speaking of Final Fantasy 15,
80s Dune. They look like 80s Dune still suits with full faces and shoulder pads.
yeah. Speaking of Final Fantasy 15, the Regalia, which is your car, it's the big,
Yep.
the car which you can in Pimpin at what is it, Hammerhead? Is that where Cindy
I played
works?
once.
Yeah.
I played for 3 hours, maybe a little longer.
You
It
played
was
for longer than 3
It was
hours.
very fun.
Yeah. Anyway, it's coming to Forza,
Yeah.
or Forza, as everyone who isn't Italian or works at Microsoft pronounces it. But yeah, they're the Regalia is coming to Forza Horizon 3.
I bet it handles like a pig.
Yeah,
Probably.
I was
It
gonna
looks
say,
huge.
I'm assuming that they make it actually, like, work with physics.
It's
like-
huge. It's a boat.
Because like the car in the game is very like sort of arcadey, floaty, isn't it?
Yeah,
Which,
I think.
except in the
Does it?
in
How does
Forza,
it control
it's-
in the game? Like it doesn't turn.
It was fine.
Okay.
like it's fine.
But
Yeah.
I barely drove it, so like I didn't think it was like. But I just think that compared to like a Forza car.
Well, yeah, I think they.
There's
they said
Italians in the chat. They're
it's-
just like, stop.
I think it's 7 feet across.
Yeah. I mean, it's got 4 big boys, and they need a lot of room because it's a very important road trip they're all going on to learn about their feelings.
I mean, it's basically like a it's basically like just one of those like old like 60s American land boat kind of style.
yeah.
Right? Like a Corvette or
The
something.
off-road regalia controls like garbage.
Oh yeah, the off-road one. I was considering finishing another story, but I totally forgot that I had a punchline for a story ready, and I
Forza did have a Halo Warthog. Oh wow!
didn't actually do it. So here's the story: is that the Dark Souls soundtrack
Oh yeah.
is coming to vinyl in a limited edition 9 LP collector set.
It's all 3 Dark Souls.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
Though it says 9, the pictures only show 8, but there's 2 different double-sided LPs for Dark Souls and Dark Souls 3, and 4 for Dark Souls 2, because the soundtrack is so huge. And my take on that for the Checkpoint story was going to be that vinyl is sweet, and buying stuff on vinyl is great, and Dark Souls is also sweet. But this does mean that now vinyl enthusiasts and Dark Souls purists can hang out together and try to see which is the more irritating social group.
Oh god, that's a toss-up.
It's tough, right?
I like the. For some reason, I always imagine with vinyl records that that they could do a thing where just if they need more space, like if it's a longer thing that they want to record, they can just keep making it bigger around.
I like that.
World's physically largest record.
They look
19 feet
amazing.
across.
By the way, they look amazing. The actual things they're colored vinyl, so it's like Dark Souls 1 is blue, but like a dark, like a lapis blue. Dark Souls 2 is red, and Dark Souls 3 is like an amber.
Yeah.
And I guess there's another disc of bonus stuff somewhere.
And like the actual video
Dark
game
Souls
Dark
support
Souls.
line hold music.
Yeah, as the original, as with the video game Dark Souls, I'm sure everybody will tell you that you're playing them wrong.
And that's got potential spoilers, so I don't want to talk about
Yep.
it. And I didn't read the Neo story.
The
I didn't either.
Their new loot feature.
the Neo story. So that was it was basically just a cool new thing from in Neo, which is again I think Alex played it on New Day or
Adam played a
Adam
bunch of it.
yeah. Is that it's one of these games where there's a lot of people drop stuff and you pick up some things and you have to and at a certain point you have to just like stop picking up stuff because your inventory gets too full. It's a standard thing.
Yeah.
And so they added 2 things. They added it so that there's like you mouse over stuff and there's just like a grab this button. But more importantly, there's like a slider in the preferences where you can say like set where where it actually like how rare a thing is before it actually even bothers to show it to you. So you can set it to like whatever. I don't know what it's like only show me green or higher stuff.
Yeah.
And so like you kill somebody and they go like, and a bunch of guns and swords or whatever fall on the ground, and they don't show up at all as things you can even pick up because you never
Just
want
dropped
to
a bunch of trash.
You never want to pick them up anyway.
Because
Nice.
you just have to do it
So
for the
and
inventory.
so the article I was reading was like, this is amazing. This should be in every like loot game, loot based game, whatever. And it's like that's actually a really good idea.
That sounds sweet. Yeah, that was the stories that we were looking at.
Yeah, Ashen Prime, I was discussing the magical exosuits, or the Magitech exosuits.
Yep. Path of Exile's loot filters too.
I'm
I
looking
am
at
not
what those
surprised.
No, the Muteki.
are. Oh, the Muteki suits?
Yeah.
Yeah. The joke I was thinking for that one is that they made them, they changed them from looking like Power Rangers to looking like putties.
Yeah. They really do. Huh.
Yeah.
It's been in MMOs for a while. I did not know that.
No, it's because we don't play
like-
MMOs.
Path of Exile has support for extensive loot filtering. I am not surprised. I figure any like heavy duty power user thing has got to be in Path of Exile.
Yeah. Blaze Blitz 725. Have any of you done any Grand Prix lately? Grand Prix Vegas.
Yeah, you made day 2.
I made day 2 of the limited GP. That was fun. And then scrubbed out immediately. But I was like I made day 2, but I would have had to win out the day to actually
Like win all of your games.
yeah, because I was
You sort of scraped in, right?
6-3, which is enough for day 2. But then if I lose, then I'm 6-4, and then it's like, well, yeah. So which is what happened. But that's fine because then I got to go play other stuff. So. Yeah. That's about it. Did you hear about the panda in a zoo in China who faked a pregnancy in order to get treats?
Wow.
I think that's more feed dump news.
That's kind of amazing, but I hadn't heard about it, no.
I guess yeah. I guess it depends. It's like
How do you fake a pregnancy as a panda?
I don't know.
I mean I'm assuming it's probably one of those things where it's like look at other pandas, look at what they're doing. They're getting treats. If I do the same thing, maybe I'll get a treat.
Yeah.
It's probably not even like maybe even the panda didn't even really conceptualize that it was faking a pregnancy. It was just copying other pandas.
Stuff a bunch of bamboo under your fur.
But yeah, I mean that's the interesting thing about using the like.
Why are you asking me, Kathleen? I've never been pregnant or a panda.
But like that's the interesting thing about the like treats for activity, especially with like animals and things, and especially when you get into like the smarter animals, often people will like come back with like this amazing conclusion and be like, oh man, these things are so amazing, they're so smart, and then you realize that they are smart, but they're smart in a different way than you thought. It's not like they're not smart because they're doing math. They're smart because they're figuring out what you want them to do
Yeah.
and just doing that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, the horse thing was like the big one, but just like the animals are smart, and a lot of animals are really smart, but the problem is they can be smart enough to not to outsmart and not do the thing that you're trying to actually test them on.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for Checkpoint today.
Yep.
So tonight is going to be one of two things on the stream. At 6 p.m., it is either going to be Action Cats,
Woo!
as was supposed to be the AFK on Friday, because the tracking says it is out for delivery currently. Or if Canada Post is lying, and when has that ever happened? I mean, seriously, they're so reliable. It'll be Tinker Tailor with Ian working on his turntable, speaking of vinyl. So
that he can play the Dark Souls.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
That he presumably is totally into, yeah. So one way or another, you're getting a stream at 6 p.m. And
But we just don't
we're
know what
gonna,
it is yet.
We're going to make the call, I think James just said on Slack, we're going to make the call in about half an hour, whether it's AFK or Tinker Tailor, so...
Yeah. Haven't seen Canada Post come by yet,
No.
so, but they could always be here. So we don't know.
Yeah. Twilight Avalon, we have a episode of Sidewalk Slam recorded and partially edited, and I have been so busy with stuff surrounding the Moonbase move that I haven't been able to get the rest of it done, but I really, really hope to get that out the door soon. And then we will, after the move, then we'll rise like a phoenix from the ashes and or a great ball of fire in this case, and record new episodes. But yeah, working on that. So sorry about that.
I like is the turntable going to be added to the Dreamcast? Maybe. Ultimately, all Tinker Tailor Solder Fry projects are part of the Dreamcast, I think. The kegerator.
Philosophically, at least.
Yeah. When Bish was shining his shoes.
Yeah.
It's all part of the Dreamcast.
All right, let's welcome the subs.
Let us attempt to welcome subs. See if this works.
Blah.
Bright Jeep Guy
Hey.
for 10 months. I almost forgot to hit the button for free Amazon resub. Barely just remembered.
Hey,
Good
thank
job.
you.
Yeah.
Glad you did.
Cherubim Q. Thanks, new subscriber.
Robo Nixon with a 15-month resub. Beach drop that beat.
Mijne here.
Min
5
here.
months. Good enough.
Coyote001 has subscribed for 10 months in a row.
Lurker Spine, 28-month resub, says, it's up to you.
Viral infection for 32 months. So buff.
Are these from last night? Some of these might be from last
Night
night.
Flight 1287 for 2 months. Nice.
I think these are from during Rhythm Cafe. Edmund Juniper with a 6-month resub. Welcome back.
Bladnius is a new subscriber.
Zale250 for 6 months says, I'll do it now so I don't forget.
Good call. Good call. Tentusar is now supporting on Patreon. Thank you.
Wow.
Darkforge 23 is a new subscriber.
Autarcus V42 says, oh goodness, I almost missed hitting the button. Got it now. Woot.
Reneko for 28 months. It's time for the
Right.
news that doesn't make me feel bad.
Now we're caught up to today.
Yeah. Mattman X311. Watashi no ego ga doko desu ka?
Good dirt. 4-month resub. What? Welcome back.
Lord Crusher, whether to support Loading Bay Run is not a Catch-22 session question, because that was a 22-month resub.
Welcome back, Lord Crusher.
Jared DVDH for 8 months says, thanks for all the hard work bringing some joy into other one's lives. We appreciate it. Why are you laughing at me?
Miranus with a 43-month resub. I like what you've done with your hair, Beach.
Thanks.
E.C. Jones, 1975 for 43 months. 43 months? That's insert favorite U.S. Canadian exchange rate here.
Soprano Cat for 7 months says, do you guys know NPR Wait is stealing your feed dump stories?
Phileas Seth with a 42-month resub. Welcome back.
Jeezy56 for 4 months. Lure content is the best content.
Oh, thanks, Jeezy. Retro Guernsey for 7 months says 7 months strong.
Phoenix Turn, a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel, Phoenix Turn. Thank you.
3,800, 911 basic bytes free. Yay.
Riven Darkstar for 8 months says 8 months. That's almost a joke.
Is an Insect with a 17-month resub says checkpoint resub.
Taijani for 27 months. I don't have a product in space like Firebox. Wait, damn it.
Mars is Dead for 6 months says, love the stream as always. Guys, a new Sidewalk Slam soon, maybe no rush, but it's become my favorite YouTube show, so you guys do you.
Thank you. Asakai, a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel.
Baron von Pippinoff for 8 months.
Duragai for 40 months says, Bwarg. Things.
Alexander the Mediocre with a 7-month resub says lucky number 7.
Tomasu82 is a new subscriber. Welcome.
And 1,030 bits
Wow.
from Dark Morford, Amative One, Nominimesis, Lord Crusher, and Thermos. Thank you. And that was Tachani said, I don't have a product in a space like Firebox, but here have some money. I tweeted last night about basically a spam thing I've got. That someone, I got an email from someone who said that they had read our video. It was CEX, the Consumer Entertainment Electronics one. They're like, I have read your post, and then that, right? And we are a tech company. Didn't say what their product was, just said they were operating in a space similar to Firebox, and I have no idea what Firebox is. And they wanted to put some advertorial on our website, and in exchange for this privilege, we would get $45.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so
I like that.
Hey, $45 to $45, right?
I like that the end result of that email, that spam, was to actually advertise Firebox. It's like, oh, I wonder what Firebox is. I'm gonna look them up.
Yeah. Some people on Twitter were like, is this like secret marketing for Firebox? I still don't know what it is.
Apparently it's a geek shop in the UK.
Oh. Okay.
They sell geeky tat, basiccy.
So it's just like
Oh, like
Radio Shack or something.
GameStop or EB Games does here now.
Yeah.
Ever since they bought ThinkGeek, or ThinkGeek bought them.
ThinkGeek. They bought ThinkGeek.
They bought ThinkGeek.
Yeah.
And now now it used to be, video games everywhere, and now half the store is just like Funko Pops and gamer tat.
I also think, from what I understand, ThinkGeek is also the only part of the business that actually made any money last year.
Yeah, I believe it. That's going to do it. Thanks, everybody, for the subs and resubs and bits. Always appreciated.
Goodbye, everybody. We really appreciate how wonderful you are.
Yeah.
And we hope we have some new moon-based news for you guys soon. And thanks for supporting us, because we couldn't do this without you guys. And we couldn't move our moon base without you guys. We really wish we didn't have to move our moon base.
Yeah, and thanks for everybody who has put forward for the moon base getting on the wall and
It's going to be a big
supporting
wall.
Yeah,
It's we're
We're literally factoring it into, like, we're sort of doodling around with theoretical floor plans of how we want space to look, and we're like, don't forget, we got to have a big wall somewhere.
We need more wall space.
Yeah.
Also, please be patient in the next couple weeks or so, because we're going to start having to start tearing up the moon base here pretty quick.
There should still be a checkpoint next week? Question mark?
Some form of checkpoint.
We'll
anyway.
see.
It might be more of a casual point.
Casual.
But
point.
A beige cash.
yeah, so we had I was saying during 18 games and counting, we have various ideas, and we've had various exciting ideas for improvements that we want to make to the studio for a while now, for things that we should do, and because of the amazing support of everybody, the timeline for those improvements has been able to be moved up quite substantially.
Yeah.
So thank you,
I
everybody.
mean, we're not going to move into a shittier moon base.
No.
Exactly.
But also, these are things that is going to helping do things like, hey, wow, we're going to hire some movers. So
Yeah.
we're schlepping all this stuff ourselves. So that's really great.
All right. We will see you later, and keep an eye on the Twitters for whether it will be Tinkertail or AFK tonight. But whatever the case, it will be something fun. Bye.
Don't go away. Bye-bye.
Bye.
They can go away. It's fine.
Oh, sure, but come back later.
Yeah. Come back later.
Yeah.